Okay. We may not have F1, we may not have MotoGP this weekend, but I promise you, there's still some very exciting racing happening this weekend all across the globe. So let me tell you about the top 10 racing events for you to tune into this weekend. Hey, folks, and welcome back to another episode here at Race Plaza Media. My name is Pia, and as per usual, on Thursdays, we break down for you what you can watch and where you can watch motorsport all across the globe. And here are our top 10 recommendations for the week. As I said, of course, the two big ones are not around this weekend yet again. However, if you are an endurance fan, this is the weekend for you. Lots and lots of endurance racing is happening this weekend. So let me tell you all about it. First up, let's start off with the Great American Race. Of course, I am talking about NASCAR. Not only do we have the NASCAR Cup Series, but we also have the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series competing in Kansas at the Kansas Speedway this weekend. For the Cup Series, you'll be able to tune into that via Fox and HBO. And for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, you'll be able to tune into that on the CW. Next up in number 2, if you're missing Formula One, I have something similar-ish. I mean, we cannot compare the two. We dare not compare the two. But if you want something along the lines of Formula One, there is INDYCAR happening this week. And actually, this weekend, we have the big Long Beach Grand Prix happening here in California, which you'll be able to tune into. Or if you're able to attend it, you'll be able to see the IndyCar series compete there live. For the IndyCar series, if you want to watch it on TV, you'll be able to tune into that on Fox. But not only do we have the IndyCar series competing at the Long Beach Grand Prix this weekend, but we also have the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, which you'll be able to tune into on Peacock as well as IMSA TV. And we also have the Porsche Carrera Cup North America competing there this weekend, which you'll be able to tune into either through Peacock or also for free on YouTube. And if you're not located here in the US, you will also be able to watch the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship on YouTube. It's just locally, if you use a local IP, you will not be able to watch that on YouTube. Next up in number 3, if you're really itching for some Formula One, how about some junior leagues? As we always say here on the channel, those are not to sleep on. They're really fun, they're bite-sized, and they're for free for you to watch. I have 2 of those happening this weekend. We have the F4 British Championship heading into their round 1, as well as the F4 Chinese Championship also heading into round 1. Both of those you would be able to tune into on YouTube. Next up in number 4, we're leaving the track and we are going off-roading or through the streets. And I am talking about the European Rally Championship. They're heading this weekend into round 1 for the Rally Sierra Morena, and you'll be able to tune into that via your Rally TV subscription. All right, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's go into some two-wheel racing before I tell you about all the long endurance racing that you can tune into this weekend. First of all, in two-wheel racing, we of course have a channel favorite. I am talking about the AMA Supercross. They're heading to Cleveland this weekend, and as per usual, you'll be able to tune into that via your Peacock subscription. Next up in number 6, another two-wheel race. I am talking about MotoAmerica is heading into round 1 of their season. They will be racing at Road Atlanta, and you'll have 2 different options to tune into that this weekend, either through your MotoAmerica subscription, or now this season, they will also be streaming the races on Vice TV. Next up in number 7, we have a lot of action happening in Assen this weekend. Not only, of course, do we have the World Superbike Championship, the Superbike World Championship, the Super Sport World Championship, but the favorite, or one of the favorites of this channel, I am talking about the Women's Circuit Racing World Championship, the World WCR. They're heading into round 2 this weekend. And if you've been following our channel, we're a huge fan of the women. We've been watching them since the first season, and this is looking like another great season. We have round 2 this weekend. There's 2 races over the weekend, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and both are for free for you to watch on YouTube. For the Supersport and the Superbike Championship, you will have to get their subscription service to tune into those races. All right, folks, now here we are. We are now in the middle of the big endurance racing weekend, it's a big one, but it's obviously not the biggest one. We have some really big 24-hour races coming up soon. However, this is a really good weekend if you are a fan of endurance racing. So, of course, we have the 24-hour Nürburgring race coming up in May. However, this weekend, we already have the qualifying races happening. So if you want to get ready for that, you can tune into those races. However, the big three that I actually want to highlight are in number 8, we have a motorcycle endurance race. We have a 24-hour FIM Endurance World Championship race happening this weekend in France at the Bugatti circuit. And boy, oh boy, that sounds intense. I've never watched a 24-hour motorcycle race. I will see if I can tune into that. However, you can only watch that either through your Motorsport TV subscription or on MAV TV. All right, so we have a 24-hour race, but now I also have a 12-hour race for you. I'm talking about the 24-hour series, European series. They will be having a 12-hour race this weekend at Spa at the famous Belgian race circuit. So you can tune into that on YouTube. And last but not least, we also have the World Endurance Championship, aka WEC, competing this weekend for a 6-hour endurance race. They will be heading to Imola for the race this weekend, and you'll be able to tune into that through the FIA WEC Plus subscription. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll be listing all the links in the subscription so you have it a little bit easier to find out where you can tune into all these different types of racing, because of course, they all make it so difficult and they all have their own subscription service, yada, yada, yada. So we try to make it a little bit easier for you by listing the top 10 racing events that we recommend to you this weekend. And now we will also be adding the direct links to them so you have it just a little bit easier. And there you have it, folks. The top 10 races of the weekend that we recommend to you. If you know us, if you know my brother, you know he will be tuning into the endurance races. I think for sure he will be watching the 6-hour race of the World Endurance Championship in Imola. I know both of us will also be checking out the World WCR, so the Women's Motorcycle Racing Championship this weekend for both of the races. And then other than that, we will have to see. I might try and check out MotoAmerica if I have the time, because I think that would be really interesting. Of course, the 24-hour motorcycle endurance race would be quite interesting as well. So we'll have to see what I find the time for this weekend. But do let us know what you will be tuning into this weekend. And as per usual, let me know if there's something not on my list that you would recommend people to tune into, and we'll gladly add it in the future. And with that, I hope you have a thrilling motorsport race weekend, and we will see you back here on Monday with our race weekend recaps and our regular race chit chat. We'll see you then. Bye bye.